you're the kind of teacher like I want to have, and I want to see. And so I know there's a lot of those out there that like if they just had a little bit more access to resources that could help them, they would be all over it. Yeah.
And this is so fun for cross-curricular because you can bring in the math, obviously, and a lot of science, but you could bring in the history of space itself. Like, how did we get to Mars? Why are we going to Mars?
I'm David Ewing, president of Firia Labs.
I'm Kayla Grice-Dobbins, a local school teacher that teaches cyber and computer science.
Kayla, thank you so much for stopping by. Yes. I know you're stopping by to pick up your liftoff kit.
Excited.
So yeah. So I thought we'd take just a few minutes to talk about what's in the liftoff kit and just get your ideas on this, because I know you've been using the Codex and CodeBot and things like that. So we'll just talk about what the liftoff kit kind of brings to the table.
Awesome.
Got a little serving suggestion sheet here. This one's already all organized. You'll have to organize yours that you got.
Yes.
All the components are in little plastic bag or anti-static bags, in case you're wondering, little silver bags. Most of this stuff is not really very static sensitive, but it's definitely prudent to protect them and teach the students about that too. This particular kit is kind of organized from a student standpoint. We decided to do you can see the rocket here, a Mission to Mars theme to motivate like this sequence of projects that they get to build.
I love that, especially with us being in Huntsville. We're all about the Space and Rocket Initiative, and so that would be fantastic. And Mars is so new-ish that the kids are still interested in it. They want to know, are we going to eventually live on Mars? What is it like on Mars? And so I know in my class, I always did a Mission to Mars for the past few years where they had to do the official egg drop that you always do in middle school STEM. And so this would be fantastic to take it to the computer version of it.
Yeah. The real goal of it is that students get to learn what are all these electronic components and parts. It's like the servo and stuff. One of the reasons why we made the Codex the way we made it was it's got connectors that you can plug these sorts of devices right into. So you can build little projects and have it stay together nicely there. And as they learn, like, what would I use a relay for example? This is a relay. You've heard of a relay, but like, how does it work? What do you use it for? And how would you interface it and talk to it with code? As they go through the journey to Mars, they have to make like a hatch lock. So they use this like circle of LEDs, and they plug that in. There's little cables where you can plug this one directly in, or you can have a cable out here, and like you make things for your spacecraft as you go like that. And then when they get to Mars, they've got like a water pump and a soil moisture sensor that they can use. So this is like a little biology cross-curricular connection there, so they can grow their food. Then the last one that we added, they can actually use the breadboard. So there's a breadboard in here. So we haven't talked about this one yet. They can plug that in to the expansion connectors on the Codex, and then they plug into the breadboard. This is cool. This mission, they're taking the rover. It's not a lunar rover. It's a Martian rover, I guess. They're going to drive it around, and immediately they run into they crash it into a rock, the astronauts, and then as they're trying to inspect the damage, they find the remnants of an old spacecraft. They're like an old satellite or something that crashed. And so in that is the breadboard, is this like ultrasonic sensor, couple of LEDs and resistors. There's stuff they can like scavenge out of it. So this is part of the mission in Code Space. It's really awesome. So we tell them this stuff that they can scavenge, and they use that and they put it onto their lander, and they make like a distance sensor that uses ultrasonic waves and stuff. And they've got lights that they've used it with the LEDs to like help control the rover that they can drive around. So that's just like a really cool like culmination of it. And we were working with some college students recently on a project using a CodeBot with a breadboard, and even those folks, we had to talk them through, how do you dim an LED or even just toggle an output pin, true false to get, to blink things and control servos and all that. So students who use the liftoff kit, man, they get all of that stuff, it's really cool.
They'll be prepared. And this is so fun for cross-curricular because you can bring in the math, obviously, and a lot of science, but you could bring in the history of space itself. Like, how did we get to Mars? Why are we going to Mars instead of working on going back to the moon and things like that? So you've got a lot of science and history in there. And then obviously you can have the English in there of writing the papers of what did you find and your data forms and everything. So that's awesome. My kids will get so far ahead that it's like, I am still on this level with all these kids, so I'm just going to send your code and be like, this is what they're trying to do. Can you help me out? And you are great about somebody getting back to me on, have you tried this? Well, this is what I'm looking at. So I love that aspect of it too.
I know you're gonna have a lot of fun with this.
I'm excited. I can't wait to get this in the hands of my kids because I know they're excited too.
Awesome. Well, keep us posted on how it goes.
Most definitely.
All right, thank you for coming by.
Yes, thank you.